when you wear the Manchester United badge, you've got to step out onto the pitch and give your absolute everything to wear the badge.
She was like, Ella Toone. Like that. I was like, she was like, make sure you get a picture.
Now we've had a real run in the Champions League, and it feels like, you know, we were always meant to be in this competition. I hope that one day there can be a girl from Tilsley like me go on to achieve their dreams.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Inside Carrington. We are in the press conference room down here at the training ground. I am delighted to say, as always, I am joined on my left by Liam Bradford, our commentator at MUTV.
That's right.
A man of many talents. Don't just like to call you a commentator, but
Sort of.
there's so many.
Yeah, wear a lot of hats. Most of them average.
Not today because we're inside in
Yeah.
the heat. Good to have you as always, Liam. And Phil Jones. How are you, Phil?
Oh, very good.
Good.
Very good.
Good to see you as always. There's only one place to start, guys, isn't there?
I'm still on cloud nine.
What a weekend that was. Do you feel like it's not happened? It's not real?
No, it was magnificent, wasn't it?
So
just
good.
so good. And it was one of those games and one of those performances where it then doesn't matter what happens for the rest of Saturday because no one is
Thought you were going to say
wiping
the
that
rest of the
smile
season there.
over your face. No, just the Saturday. No one's going to wipe the smile off your face.
It's an incredible game. Incredible.
It was such a good game to watch as well. I think that's the other thing.
I think we expected sort of the energy and the intensity that we were going to play at, but the way we did it and we didn't just control the game. We controlled the game for 90 minutes, and I thought in possession we looked so good. Out of possession we looked incredible, and I just thought to a man, I thought everyone was terrific on Saturday, and thoroughly deserved the win.
After the game, I was looking and I thought, who even is player of the match? Because anybody could have got it, and that's quite unusual, Phil, isn't it?
No, literally anybody could have got it. I thought Harry to come back in from his spell out with an injury was put an absolute incredible performance, as well as Leacher at the back. I thought those two were terrific. Cobby, considering the limited amount of minutes he's had this season, to come into a game like that and the magnitude of that game and the expectation and the level and the standards that you have to reach straight away, I thought he was terrific in build-up and the way he moved the ball and the tackles and duels that he won. Bruno, you look at Mbuemo and Ahmad and how quickly they transition forward.
Dorgu had a great game as well.
Dorgu playing higher up and sort of on the left position, got his goal, took his goal really, really well. I just thought all over the pitch, anybody could have received man of the match. It just really worked well. Really, really pleasing and refreshing to watch.
When you think about Harry Maguire and the fact that he's only trained for 2 or 3 days since the Spurs game back in early November, I think it was like the 8th of November, absolutely incredible that he puts in 90 minutes. Cobby Mainoo, that's his first start in the Premier League this season, and he puts out that performance. I think across the park, 1 to 11, every player had a huge role to play, and I thought some really brave decisions too from Michael Carrick in terms of his team selection and who he chooses. For me, probably the biggest surprise was leaving out Mateus Cunha, not starting Benjamin Šeško, got 2 in 3 games or whatever. Brave from Carrick, but effective.
I thought he got it absolutely spot on. The game plan worked to an absolute T, and considering he was only in charge and took over the lads for 3-4 days, you can see the trust and the respect that he's got from the lads straight away. But I thought the whole performance sort of, I don't know what you thought, but sort of epitomised like who Man United are and what we're about and sort of the levels and standards that are expected at this football club. I thought it just epitomised that down to a T.
Phil, you were busy whenever we did the podcast with Michael Carrick, so we haven't actually got to ask you this question, but someone you know very well. He epitomises Manchester United, as
Absolutely,
you know.
yeah.
What's he like to share the changing room with? What's he like as a coach?
Yeah, as a player, I don't think we need to speak on that. I think I played alongside him in midfield for quite a few games when I first arrived at United, and probably the most underrated player I've ever played with. He was incredible. The things that he could do with the ball and the passes that he's seen and the vision and the IQ, intelligence on the pitch was second to none. But he's very humble. He's very honest. He offers ultimate clarity in coaching, I remember when he was here with Ollie and Kieran as well, the clarity going into the games is something that players thrive off. They just want to know, like, what is their job? What do they need to do to be successful for themselves, but for the team as well? Like we touch on with the respect and the trust element, he's a calming influence. He'll build relationships with those players individually and collectively, and I think you're seeing straight away the impact that he's had on the players on Saturday.
A couple of really brilliant moments, aren't there? If you think about after Mason Mount scores the goal that should have stood.
Can I ask a question? What did that get
Offside.
ruled out for?
Offside.
Who?
It's Cunha. It's Cunha that's offside in the initial transition. So Mason Mount stays behind the ball, so he's not an issue whatsoever. The ball is played backwards to him, or at least he's behind the ball carrier when he meets it. The problem is the initial pass into Cunha, and his knee. It's like his kneecap, about this much, is offside. Now, the problem that people have got with it is that I thought we'd entered this sort of period where you were giving the benefit of the doubt again, where that's sort of 2 or 3 centimetres, then we're not gonna bother. But when they finally released the graphic on the Premier League's PGMOL Match Centre on X, you can see that it's a tiny fraction of Matheus Cunha that's offside. So as far as I'm concerned, it was a 3-0 win.
I refuse to get drawn into the VAR decisions because
you would get yourselves into trouble.
Yeah.
As far as we're concerned, Mason Mount scored and it was 3-0.
Yeah,
which brings me back to Casemiro leaping onto the back of Michael Carrington. And for everything that I've heard this week from various people, they've really enjoyed the sessions that have been put on by Michael Carrick and his team. Casemiro has apparently been unbelievable all week in training, and that reflected in his performance, I think, on the pitch. And it's one of maybe 5 or 6 moments from the game, isn't it, that have gone viral this week. The commentator with the whole Bruno Cunha, as the throw-in comes from Luke Shaw, and essentially United just start doing rondos around Ray and Cherky. Absolutely unbelievable. And I think because it was Ray and Cherky in the middle of it as well, just makes it even sweeter.
I think that's where Michael deserves a lot of credit, because the confidence levels weren't exactly through the roof prior to the game, but he's come in and managed to release a bit of confidence into the group, release a bit of confidence and belief into the players, and the performance they put on, showcases that.
Also, Phil, do you think it's fair to say that Darren Fletcher laid a lot of the groundwork for Michael Carrick? Darren Fletcher took over. The players had been playing a completely different system. They were in the next day, playing a new system, playing away from home. He had a couple of players missing through AFCON. Of course, he didn't have Harry Maguire fully fit. And I'm sure he has laid the groundwork for the system for Michael Carrick.
Yeah, absolutely. And those two know each other really well. They played together for many years. They're good friends off the pitch. So I agree. I think that what he gave was Michael sort of a better platform to go about the business and go about what he wanted to implement within the team. And he would have had conversations about different players and the best suited for them. And it's in the last week it's worked really well.
Really specific example of that is Patrick Dorgu playing as a left
higher
winger.
Up.
So he's played as a right wing back, as a right winger. We saw that against Newcastle on Boxing Day, but it was actually Darren Fletcher that moved him out as a left footer on the left wing. And I mentioned in commentary, no Manchester United player has had more successful crosses than Patrick Dorgu this season. And that's what happens when you put a left footer out on the left hand side. The ability that he's got to get ahead of his man and whip those crosses into the box, and you see it early doors. It's his cross that leads to the corner, that leads to Harry Maguire hitting the
I think when you sign from a different country in a different league, there's always an expectation when you arrive at a football club, especially at Man United, but it takes time. It takes time to knit and gel, and I know it's so cliche to talk about, but it's obviously taken him a little bit of time. But you can absolutely see now, especially in the last 4 or 5 games, the player that everybody saw, and you're seeing that right now. And full credit to him, because he's had to stick at that, and it's probably not been tough. It's probably been tough mentally for him as well, but he's certainly reaping the rewards now.
I know he's Danish, I know he is, but he's come from southern Italy. He's come from Lecce, where the sun is shining, to Manchester, and hasn't even been here a year yet. So what he's actually had is 2 winters where it's freezing cold and pouring down a rain. All of that is a bit of a culture shock. Takes a little bit of time for you to get used to that, and hopefully we are now seeing the beginnings of Patrick Dorgu being absolutely brilliant for Manchester United.
You were talking about viral moments. One moment that should have went viral was when we seen Ella Toone grace the Old Trafford pitch at half-time. I'm sure you've seen that, Liam. Of course, she has just recently been awarded an MBE, and we did catch up with her last week. Obviously, it's been a very, very busy week at Carrington here. Of course, we spoke to Michael Carrick, but we also spoke to Ella Toone last week, and we are welcoming her on the podcast. Here she is. Inside Carrington is presented by United Store, the official home of exclusive United merchandise. Ella Toone, welcome to Inside Carrington. Fantastic to have you with us. Appreciate you taking the time to be here today. And I think the best place for us to start with you is the incredible news that you have been awarded an MBE. That is absolutely amazing, and we're all so proud of you. Tell us what happened when you got the letter, your reactions, your family's reaction.
Yeah, well, my agent actually told me like maybe a month before about it. So obviously I rang my mum, she was buzzing. And then I got an email off someone really high up, and it said, you cannot reply to this email. So I was like, well, that's exciting. And then I got a letter through the door as well saying that, you know, I was going to get an MBE and stuff. And then it obviously came out, and yeah, it's been amazing. It's been a bit of a whirlwind. I don't think I've really processed, you know, how amazing it actually is to receive something like that. So yeah, I'm really happy about it.
And so well deserved. I think we'll all agree that you really do wholeheartedly. You really do deserve that award. What have your teammates said?
A lot of them don't really understand it.
Well,
We've got a lot of foreign players now, so they've all been asking me what it actually means, and I just say, you've just got to curtsy to me now when you see me. So yeah, they've been asking loads of questions. Mark did a bit of a speech about it in the meeting when we got back to Carrington. But yeah, it's been nice, and they're learning about it, and so am I. Obviously, being from Tilsley, I don't think anyone's got an MBE. So yeah, it's quite a big deal, and I'm learning about it.
Do you know with an MBE, not that like I know someone that has one, I've been there, so you actually can get married at, I've just forgotten the name. What do you call the really famous place in London? Liam, you'll be good at this. It's a really famous like cathedral.
St Paul's.
You can get married there, or your children in the future can get married there.
Oh, wow.
If you're an MBE.
Well, that's
Didn't
good
know
to
whether you knew that.
I didn't know that.
Well,
no,
there you go.
It's a shame I've already booked the wedding. The wedding now.
But you can. That's one of the perks amongst others.
Nice. I need to learn about the perks.
It's not too late, Ella. You can change the date. You can change you can change the venue, but it comes with lots of perks.
Are you going to wander around introducing yourself as Ella Toone MBE?
No, I can't. I can't do it. My mum texted me. She was like, "Ella, you need to change all your social medias to Ella Toone MBE." I said, "Mum, just chill out."
Has she changed you in her phone? Are you now Ella Toone MBE in her phone?
Oh, surely not. My own mum can't do that, can she?
My mum probably would.
So obviously on the pitch has been more difficult for you over the last few weeks, and we'll address that. I know that you've got a really disappointing injury and you're out for a matter of weeks. How's that been emotionally over the last few weeks for you?
Yeah, difficult. I mean, I hate missing football games. So that's just annoying. I don't really like being in the gym, rehabbing, but I'm in a good mindset. I know that I can come back bigger and stronger, and I know that I can use this time really wisely to, you know, focus on me and get myself, you know, feeling in a better place when I come back. And from the last time I had an injury, I came back and I was in a really good place. So I know I can do it again. But yeah, it's so hard not being able to play football.
Mm-hmm.
Something you've obviously had to deal with over the course of your career as well. This is the mentally tough bit, isn't it?
It's tough, especially when you see all the girls going out for training every single day and you're grinding away on the bike or doing your rehab or whatever you're doing. It's a tough place to be, but like you said, you've got a great mindset. I'm sure you'll have a good team around you, a network of people who can help you with all those things and tools you need to get back fitter and stronger. But yeah, certainly, it's very difficult.
I suppose for you, it's even harder, isn't it, knowing what's around the corner. Still fighting on four fronts, this Manchester United women's side, and been so good to watch at points this season. You'll be absolutely desperate to get back. How important is it that you don't try too hard, I guess?
Yeah, I think it's really important to listen to your body, to listen to the people around you. Like, there's no point in rushing back because you don't want to do it again or do something even worse. So I know I'm in good hands. I know I've got to listen to the people around me, but like you say, it's really exciting now, this second half of the season. We've got the FA Cup round the corner. We've got the Champions League games against Atletico. We're fighting in the league still. We've got Conti Cup semi-final coming up. So there's so much. So yeah, it's disappointing time to be injured, but like I say, I know I'm going to come back better.
I was watching that recent documentary that we had on YouTube where you went back to home. It was really, really nice. And you'd said in it how you're always one of the last ones off the training pitch because you'd heard that David Beckham and Ronaldo did that when they were here at the club. So I suppose when you're injured, it makes it even more difficult because you said yourself you just love football and you love playing football and being out on that grass.
I do, and that's the hardest part. Like you say, watching the girls go out to training and you're stuck in the gym in the same four walls, you know, grinding it out on the watt bike, or I've been doing a lot of swimming lately.
That dreaded watt bike.
Oh, the watt bike. I've been doing a lot of swimming, but yeah, it's really difficult, and I have to change my role now and be the cheerleader, go to the games, support the girls, and yeah, just be positive throughout it. And I know hopefully it won't take too long to get back out there.
It's been an incredible season. I mean, I'm sort of a passenger for all of this as I commentate on the majority of your games, and it's been so much fun to watch. What's it been like playing Champions League proper with this Manchester United side? Yeah,
it's been amazing. I've been here 7 years now, and that's all we've ever really wanted. We had that little glimpse of it when we played against PSG, but didn't get through. And now we've had a real run in the Champions League, and it feels like, we were always meant to be in this competition. As a footballer, you want to play in these big competitions. So yeah, it's been amazing to play teams like Juve, Atletico, travelling home and away. So yeah, we've done really well in it for our first proper time in it as well. And
a little bit of revenge too against PSG at Old Trafford. That was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, that felt nice. Obviously they knocked us out the first time we were in and around the Champions League. So yeah, it was nice to put on that big performance. We played some really good football, and always nice to win at Old Trafford as well.
I think when you look at that United squad as well, it has been built, hasn't it, for European football. When you look at some of the experience that's in there, as well as some of the young talent that you've got. But I'm thinking particularly of players like Dominique Janssen, who she's absolutely brilliant at using that experience to help drag maybe some of the less experienced players through those games.
Yeah, when you look at us, we've got quite a young team. It's mad because I'm only 26 and I still think that's quite young. But when we do old v young in training, I've somehow creeped into the old team, which I'm fuming about. But yeah, these are the players that you look up to, Dominique, and I think myself as well. I've obviously played in a few tournaments for England now, so I have a lot of experience. So it's nice to have that balance of experience, but then young talent coming through, and I think it works nice.
A couple of winners' medals in there as well helps, doesn't
it?
Yeah,
maybe.
Ella, do you feel like the expectation for the team has changed over the last couple of seasons?
Yeah, I think so. I think when we first started out, it was, competing with the likes of the top three teams, whereas now we're one of the big teams. I think everyone wants to beat Manchester United no matter what. But yeah, that's what it was about. It was about, building throughout these years, making history all the time, but now really being a part of it and pushing to win things. We've won an FA Cup, but it's wanting more now, pushing to win the league, pushing to win the FA Cup again, and obviously doing well in the Champions League. So yeah, we've definitely built on what we had right from the start, and it's only getting better.
A lot of people here involved with the club say the pressure is a privilege. Is that how you view it?
Yeah, definitely. And I think obviously being a Manchester United fan, I know that, and I try and give that to the girls coming into the club, that when you wear the Manchester United badge, there's a lot of standards that we hold of ourselves and that the club holds, and you've got to step out onto the pitch and give your absolute everything to wear the badge. And obviously I know that from watching when I was younger. So it's nice to now be able to do it and also bring players along with me. But yeah, it's definitely a privilege.
I think that being a Manchester United fan before you become a Manchester United player is massive for understanding a little bit about the history of the club, but also the weight of the shirt. You've been dead fortunate, haven't you, to be brought up as a Manchester United fan?
Yeah, I mean, it was a good job I made my own decision when I was younger, or else I'd have been supporting Bolton. So yeah, I absolutely loved Manchester United growing up. I was obsessed, and I love knowing the history of the club. And And it's mad because there's so many players who we sign who actually support Manchester United from all different parts of the world. And that just shows what a big club it is and that everyone wants to play for it. So, yeah, I think we've all got that inner, belief in ourselves that when we go out onto the pitch, we'll fight for each other and fight for the badge.
Who else is a red?
Turland.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Gabby George, obviously, from Manchester, big red. There's quite a few, but there's a picture of Terry when she was really young in a Manchester United kit, and I think, wow, that's amazing for you to be from Norway, support Manchester United, and now play here.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I know your girls have Ella Toone tops. I've seen them actually on Instagram, don't they?
The big fans, I'm not going to lie. So I said before I came here this morning, I said, she's always asked Daddy, what are you doing today? I said, we're on the podcast with Ella today. She was like, Ella Toone. Like that. I was like, make sure you get a picture.
Is this Rhea?
So no, this is Ilaria.
Ilaria.
So my eldest plays football. She's I wouldn't say she's mad or obsessed, but she loves football. She plays on a Saturday, and she's a big fan of yours.
Oh, that's nice.
What about the academy as well at the minute that you're building? It's absolutely incredible. Is that exclusive just to Man United fans?
No, because there's quite a lot of City fans in there, which I don't really like, but as long as they're playing football, then it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's amazing. I wanted to use my platform to do something to help women's football, to grow it, to give girls a platform to come and play and just enjoy football. And I hope that one day there can be a girl from Tilsley like me go on to achieve their dreams. But yeah, I think we've got about 140 girls in it now, 2 venues where they train twice a week, and yeah, they're unbelievable. There's some really, really good players in there, a lot of talent, and yeah, it's exciting to see them develop.
I absolutely love that. You've got a platform, you've got a platform, and you're using it for something beneficial. And that kind of makes me think about your social media presence. And everybody says that it's a toxic place. It's not somewhere that it is good to be. But actually, I think you've done something a bit different, haven't you, with TikTok? And you're trying to bring a bit of joy, and it's lovely to see.
Yeah, I mean, there's pros and cons of social media, as we all know as players. There's a lot of negative comments. There's a lot of things that you don't want to read. But it's also a place to connect with fans. And I think it's the women's game's growing so much now that back in the day, you used to be able to see everyone who come to games and like sign everything, whereas now the game's grown so much, there's so many people there. It's a way of connecting with fans and showing that you're just a normal human being, and I think TikTok's great for that. It shows your personality and gets people engaged in your content, and yeah, I enjoy doing it. But yeah, I mean, Twitter can be a bit of a bad
I've not got TikTok. I might have to embark and.
Do you know what? I don't scroll on it though.
We're Jen. I don't even know what Jen I am. It's really embarrassing.
Do you have TikTok?
I only have it because Lottie has it, my eldest child, so I have an account for her. But I end up just scrolling, watching 11-year-olds most evenings.
It's dangerous. I don't scroll on it, or else I'd be there for hours. But yeah. I mean, I use it a little bit.
I'm not on TikTok either.
Oh my word, we're so old. That's so bad.
No, it's good. It's good because what you've done is you're able to utilize your brand and utilize it in the right way, and it's worked really well.
And we really see the personalities of the girls. I mean, some of them are really funny, the ones on the bus, and you see a side of people that you wouldn't necessarily see just in maybe a boring interview like this.
Yeah, and I think everyone thinks we're just like robots, but we're actually human beings. We've actually got a bit of personality, so it's nice to kind of get it out there and show people that, yeah, we're just normal people as well as footballers.
We had Matt Johnson on the podcast last year, and he said if you go on to win the Champions League, he would embark on one of your TikToks with you. So
really?
Just so you know.
I don't think anyone wants him on it. You won't get many likes with Matt Johnson on your TikTok.
Well, you have to win the Champions League for Matt Johnson to come on. So we'll he did say that actually on this podcast, didn't he? So that is to be decided. In terms of, we've talked about being injured. Tell us a little bit more. We didn't talk exactly what the injury is for people at home that are watching or listening, exactly what the injury is and when your expectation is to get back. I know obviously you have to listen to the medical team, but maybe your expectation?
If it was up to me, then tomorrow. But it's a little stress-related injury in the hip. So we don't know how long it's going to be. There's got to be a few scans along the way. But I'm hoping not too long. I just need to be careful with it. It's quite a difficult injury to rehab. So like I say, I'm in good hands. I'm listening to the people around me, doing a lot of swimming, keeping fit. And hopefully be back out there soon, but there's no time yet.
you had a hip injury before?
I haven't actually. No.
I wasn't actually being funny.
No,
Right,
no.
looking at me like-
Mine was my knee. But
Yeah.
like we've said, it's so difficult being out. So, it's you've got the right people around you to deal with that.
Keep going with the scans and see. Well, you'll definitely make that Champions League final. That's for
Oh,
sure.
definitely. I'll be back for that.
Sorry, Liam.
This Mark Skinner Manchester United side has changed from what we saw under Casey Stoney. It's a lot more sort of tactically fluid, and we can see that. And actually, it's given you the position, sort of opportunity to play in different positions as well, hasn't it? Over the course of the last couple of years, whether that's as part of a midfield or in a number 10 position or coming inside from out wide. Have you enjoyed the different opportunities that's presented?
Yeah, I think with Mark, it's always, for me, and the positions that I play, it's always been to play with that freedom. So yeah, my natural position is a 10. I used to be a left winger when I was a bit younger and played for Blackburn, so I know that I can do that. Also, we play with an inverted right winger, so it's quite similar to being in the 10. You get that bit of a free role. You can drift out wide, or you can come in to find areas in central spaces. So yeah, I think as an attacking player, it's always good to be able to play in different positions, to be versatile, and yeah, I like taking those opportunities and doing what I know that I'm good at and getting on the ball in areas and trying to make things happen.
And Jess Park coming into the side as that inverted right winger has been brilliant, because she's just got this great ability to roll inside when Jade Riviere starts bombing on down the right, and then you play with sort of pocket 10s, as Mark calls them, one on either side. Is that different again?
Yeah, I mean, like you say, Jess has been unbelievable coming in, and she's fitted in our system really well. I think we've linked up really well in games previously. Yeah, it's nice that she can drift in, find those spaces, and we know we've got an attacking fullback down the right. And then also when we've played with Ziggy and Hinny, you have that structure behind the ball as well. The players who can pick up things, win the ball back, and go forward again. So it's really exciting, the way we've developed over the years tactically, but with players that we've brought in as well. Yeah, it's been good to be a part of, and I enjoy playing in those areas, playing in those central spaces, and getting on the ball.
You talked about how you're 26, but you do feel like one of the older members of the squad. Yeah. We like to call it experienced.
Yeah.
But in that journey here, who do you think that you've learned the most of in Manchester United, and what senior players?
I think when we obviously had Tobin and Kristen come in, World Cup winners, I think I learnt so much from them too personally, of what it feels like to be a winner, how to be a winner. And I was quite young at that age when them two came in, so they were really good people to look up to. Then you've got the likes of, in this current squad, Dominic Janssen and Frida Rolfo, who have won Champions Leagues, played in Champions League matches, played for the national team numerous times, and yeah, players that will bring something to every game. When Frida comes in, she'll come up with a goal or an assist. Dom is consistent in all of her performances, and yeah, those are the players that I look up to, the ones who have done it before, and done things that I want to achieve in my career. But yeah, I mean, we've got that balance in the squad of experience and young talent, and I'm quite nicely in the middle, I would say.
I always think it's quite difficult to, when someone says like, well, what did you learn off them? I always think it's quite difficult, because it's not like one thing. It's just an accumulation of just watching
how they
like these girls, how they conduct themselves, away from the club, how they are. Did they come in at this time? What did they eat? How did he train? What did he train? It's all like a combination of all these things, and that's the collection of the experience.
Yeah, it's not necessarily just on the training pitch.
Yeah. It's interesting.
I look at, whenever I've been around training, a couple of bits and pieces that I've come out and I've done with you for various reasons. But you look at Fallon, for example, who is out half an hour before everybody else, and she comes in half an hour after everybody else, and that is just her standards. And I suppose that's exactly what you're talking about, isn't it? It rubs off on maybe a new player that comes in, and they think to themselves, well, maybe I'll just stay out for an extra 15 minutes.
Because how uncomfortable would you feel now if she was still out there and you're just swanning past and going in? As a young player, you're like, I can't do that.
No.
But she's subliminally setting the standards because she's out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's exciting, isn't it, to be able to play with players like that drive the standards, and led, of course, by Mark Skinner. What's your relationship with him like?
Yeah, good. I mean, we've had a strong relationship now. I think He's been at the club maybe 5 years. So yeah, I've really enjoyed playing with him. Building that relationship off the pitch as well really helps when you go onto the pitch. And I know that I have the backing of him. And if I go out there and make mistakes, then it's all right. I'm trying new things. He's given me the license to play with that freedom. So yeah, I enjoy it.
Nice to have a manager like that, isn't it?
No, it is. It's all about relationships, and of course, it's on the pitch. Of course, you need to, do the business on the pitch and understand how he's trying to play. But it's always nice to have a relationship off the pitch because you build that trust, and it's a nice combination.
Yeah, we talked there as well about the expectations of this current team, but also you have those expectations for England as well. The sights are very high for England, I'm sure, as you know. Does that also feel a little bit different than a few years ago?
Yeah, I mean, we've won 2 major tournaments, so the target on our backs has got bigger and bigger. Won the Euros in 2022 and then obviously came second at the World Cup, so there's still that feeling of wanting to win the World Cup. We have that next summer in Brazil. So yeah, we're focusing on that, making sure we get these World Cup qualifiers out the way, get qualified, which is also difficult. But yeah, we're always wanting more. We're always pushing for more, and yeah, when we get that time to train together, then we make sure we make the most of it because it's only short periods of time.
When you do have that pressure to win, because people have seen you guys win, can you still get to enjoy it?
Yeah, I think so. We want to win. We're so competitive. We know what that feeling of winning feels like, but we also know what that feeling of being so close to winning feels like, and it's the worst feeling in the world. So we're so competitive in training, and we want to win every single game that we step out onto, but also have that enjoyment as well. You should just enjoy playing football. It's what we do. We love it. So we try and have that in training and also in games as well, playing with that freedom.
There is certain people that you look at, I'm sure you'll agree with this, Phil, too, that you just think they love playing for their country. Yeah. And you are 100% one of those people. I know you've talked about it passionately, but you can see it on the pitch.
Yeah, I love it. I think looking back when I was little, I had every England kit. All I ever wanted to do was play for England, play football, and now I get to do that. I take it with both hands every single time because you're never guaranteed to play for England again. So yeah, I go out there, I enjoy it, I'm passionate, I play with my heart on my sleeve, and I think that's just me in general. I want to just win every single game that I go into and give 100% for the team, but I love playing for England.
There's some,
you did too, Phil. Yeah,
there's some real iconic moments in there from you as well, isn't there? I mean, the celebration, I think, is the one that immediately comes to mind, where goal goes in, you sprint off towards the fans, and we can't repeat what you'd said on the pitch, but because I'd be cancelled, and my name isn't Ella Toone, but it just felt like a real representation of who Ella Toone was at that moment. It was somebody that adored playing football in a really positive situation for a country, and just absolutely loving that specific moment.
Yeah, there's been quite a few of them for England now. But yeah, I mean, playing for England is just the best feeling in the world, but then scoring as well is just like, wow. And those moments, it was Euro 2022, which I think you mean, and the goal against Spain to keep us in it, and then the goal in the final as well were 2 massive moments for us in that tournament. And yeah, I mean, I'd worked so hard throughout my career to get to that place. I just wanted to, be in the moment and enjoy it with the fans, and yeah, that's what I did.
And then maybe you'll have to go through it again on TikTok and try and recreate the moment.
Recreate it. And then when Chloe Kelly toes that one in, brain explosion?
Yeah, madness. And for me, because I love playing football so much, I never asked the ref, how long left, ref, because I never wanted to end. But that game, I could not wait for that whistle to go, because I was thinking, just blow the whistle so that we can celebrate. But yeah, that was probably the best feeling I've ever had in football.
I've actually never heard anybody ever say that they didn't want the whistle to go because they still wanted to play on.
No, when some people ask on the pitch, excuse me, ref, how long's left? I'm like, why are you asking?
That was me.
Did you never ask either? Oh yeah,
no, but when you're defending and say you're 1-0 or you're 2-1.
Whereas you're still thinking I could create something.
I'm looking
here.
up at the board every 5 seconds. It's not changed.
So I'm standing
still.
Yeah,
see, I don't defend, so.
And I see the board going up 7 minutes.
Have you heard someone say that before? I genuinely haven't.
No, I'm not.
Ball goes up and it says 7 minutes, and Ella's punching the air like, yeah, I've got 7 more
We
minutes.
can score another one.
Oh, that's so funny. Obviously, we've talked, we've spoken to you before. We know how much football has transformed women's football in the last few years, but do you think there is still some way to go?
Oh yeah, I think there's so much more to go for women's football. We've seen how much it's grown, especially since winning the Euros the first time. But yeah, I still think there's so much more to go for women's football. It's only going to get bigger and better, and it's nice to be a part of that change and hopefully, like I said before, use my platform to really push women's football in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. And what's the expectations for this team, specifically this season? I know you're still in all the competitions. What was the realistic goal for you guys?
Yeah, I think we've done amazing in the Champions League. I think we can keep going further in that competition. We've obviously been to 3 FA Cup finals back to back now, and we want a 4th. We want to win another FA Cup. And then just keep ticking away in the league, keep getting points. I think for us as footballers, as you'll know, you've got to focus on the game that's coming up and not much further than that. So, yeah, I think for the girls now, they'll be preparing for Burnley in the FA Cup at the weekend and, yeah, not focusing on anything else apart from getting the win there.
It's exciting. I think that for me, having been quite a late arrival to women's football and sort of doing it as a job, the standards have just risen exponentially. Even in the last 2 or 3 years, we've gone from here to up here somewhere, and some of the stuff that we're seeing in the WSL on a weekly basis is absolutely fantastic. Not only that, but you've got this environment when you go and watch women's football that is so inclusive and happy and friendly and available to everybody. And I just think those two things, when you put them together, it's a recipe for success, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I feel like the WSL is probably the best league in the world right now, and everyone wants to play in the WSL, and the type of players we're getting now is only growing the league. And yeah, I think for us as players, it's keep performing, keep enjoying it, and keep pushing the game, because we want more fans through watching us. But yeah, it's an exciting time for women's football, and it's only getting bigger and better.
And obviously we've talked about the tournaments coming up. 2027 is, of course, the next one. You must feel like you never get a break sometimes, because you know what that's like. You're going from a full season, you're going into tournaments. It's a lot.
I remember when I came to United, I think for the first 6 years, just from back-to-back competitions and Euros and then a World Cup, and then it's like you have friendlies at the end of the season. Like you almost go with six years without really having a sustained period. You know, you always get like 6-7 weeks off usually in the summer, but you just don't get that time. And then I remember one season when Mourinho was here, we'd had the World Cup, I had about 10 days off, and he's rang me saying, look, I'm really short of bodies. I don't like asking this. I feel like you should deserve your time off, but can you come and help us? So I ended up flying back from holiday earlier.
Say no, are you?
Landed, went to the game against Bayern Munich away from home. I'd not trained, I'd not kicked a ball for 10 days, and ended up coming up against Robin and Ribery in the second game.
Not bad.
That's the thing, though. You can't
Fair
say
to
no,
say,
can you?
it didn't go well.
We've got the footage. I'm not joking. I can't remember that game.
Definitely haven't.
But yeah, there is an element of that, and especially when you're trying to fit in weddings, holidays. We know you do like a trip to Ibiza.
Oh yeah, I do. I can fit that in.
Have you found that hard to adapt to, by the way? Because obviously, like, especially after the Euros, you girls were getting followed by the paparazzi quite a lot.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, it was after the Euros 2022, and I just went on holiday with Joe, and next minute I'm in the papers, and I'm like, wow, like this is mad. So I'm a little bit more wary now when I go, but I just enjoy it. But yeah, like you say, I just don't really have any time.
I'm sure the club will put you a little warm weather recuperation break.
Nice.
Throw one of them in there.
Depends how long you're in.
Straight to Matt Johnson's ribs when you get over there.
Like Phil just said.
Yeah. Jonas just said send me to Tenerife.
Listen,
I need to be in Dubai tomorrow. Can you sort it?
I was not one of them, by the way. I stayed here.
But yeah, the warm weather training would be nice, wouldn't it? Obviously, you've touched on your academy. For people that are listening or watching, how can kids get involved in that?
We usually have trial days, so I'd just say keep an eye out on social media for those. But there's a Next Step Foundation that we do on a Friday for girls, whether they're just starting the journey in football, whether they just fell out of love with it, you know, and if they go to those and we think that they're, good enough to be a part of the academy, they can get in that way. But yeah, just keep an eye out on social media and there'll be some dates on there.
Sometimes people are asked what their legacy is going to be, but of course for you that's already started because you're building something for the future for girls.
Yeah, and I think when we won the Euros 2022, we obviously had the celebrations, but then the girls were like, right, what can we do now for women's football? And it's always been like that. It's always nice to be a part of a team that wants to do everything they can while they're in the game to help set up the future for girls. So yeah, I'll keep doing that, keep using my platform as best as I can, and yeah, keep giving girls an opportunity to play football and love it.
And the footballing legacy, going to add the World Cup to the 2 Euros medals?
That'd be nice, yeah. World Cup, Champions League. I want it all.
It's not a bad CV, is it?
It's not bad at all.
I want it all.
Shall we do some quickfire questions before we finish? You
Go on
fancy
then.
these? The toughest opponent that you've faced?
Aitana Bonmati. Yeah, unbelievable. Best player I've ever played against, and she just had me running around for 90 minutes. So yeah, I didn't enjoy it.
Nice quick answer that.
Best United goal, not necessarily yours.
Oh, it's got to be mine.
Which
final
one?
goal. FA Cup final goal. Yeah. Yeah, I loved it. Just the occasion, and it was a good goal as well.
Yeah,
so
it was. That's that sort of outside of the boot finish that you've trademarked almost. Where did that come from?
Just practice, like I said before. I never want to get off the pitch. I'm always out on the pitch as long as I can until someone shouts at me to get off, and just practice. Just take loads of shots, and when you're shooting against someone like Fallon in net, you've got to get it in the top corner. So I'd been practicing so much the week leading up to that FA Cup goal, and then when I hit it, I knew that it was going in, because I knew that if I'd hit one of them against Fal, she wouldn't have saved it either. So
I thought you were going to throw something like the worst dressed in the squad.
That's why I said, do you want to ask one of these, Phil? I haven't got through the
We
list.
always usually get them ones.
I know, and Tom Heaton always got the bad rap for that. One teammate who never gets enough credit.
Ooh, that's a good question.
yeah,
Very
that is a
good
good question.
It's the hard worker, isn't it? The one that...
It's the
Yeah.
player's player.
Currently, I would say Turland, for how hard she works off the ball. I think when I play behind her, I can see it so much. She sets the press. She never stops. And yeah, I don't think she gets enough credit for the work she does off the ball.
Who's got the best banter in the dressing room?
Me.
I knew you were going to say that.
No one else has got banter in there.
I always think that Melvie Mallard looks like a right old character.
Yeah, she is. She is a character.
No-
She's
no
just
banter, though.
loud and...
I've got one. Most likely to be a manager after football.
Oh.
Oh, Phil, making your own up. Love that.
Well, Gabby and Millie are actually doing their
Off the cuff.
coaching
Oh,
and
are
stuff.
they?
But I don't know if I can see Millie as a manager. Maybe Dom, someone like that, enjoys the game, enjoys the tactics of the game.
Like that. One rule in football that you'd change?
That's a tough question, though.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Have you got one?
One rule I'd change. I'd scrap that VAR straight away.
There you go. You haven't got that problem in the
No.
WSL.
No, we've not. One rule I would change. I do kick-ins instead of throw-ins.
Oh, that's interesting.
Favourite stadium to play in?
Ooh.
Tricky one.
I've got two, Wembley and Old Trafford. I love both of those. They mean a lot to me, and I've had a lot of special memories there. So yeah, them two.
Ella, thank you. Thank you so much for your time
Thank
and
you.
for joining us today. And we wish you all the best in your recovery, and we hope it's sooner rather than later that you're back.
Me too. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Inside Carrington is presented by United Store, the official home of exclusive United merchandise. Lovely to hear from Ella Toone there. And we didn't get our opportunity to ask if we could go on one of her TikToks to go viral.
I'm quite glad we didn't. To be perfectly honest with you, I
We
am
missed an
too
opportunity
old
there.
for TikTok.
I'm not sure if that's me.
It's definitely Ella, though. She's a riot. Honestly, what a wonderful, wonderful human being, as well as being a brilliant footballer. Really enjoyed sitting down and having
She
a
was
chat
very
with her. Yeah,
relaxed
she was.
and very easy to talk to. And obviously she's going through a difficult time with the injury, Phil, but an incredible season she's had so far.
Yeah, brilliant. She came across really well. Very humble, very honest. And yeah, she had a really successful career so far, and you know the things that she's done and the accolades she's got and won already. But I'm sure there's much more to come.
She'll have been watching on as Manchester United's women went through in the FA Cup at the weekend. And if you haven't seen the highlights of that, by the way, they're available for you on the Manchester United website and app. 4 of the 5 goals came from outside the penalty area. One header from Leah Schuller on her debut. The Maya Letitia opener is absolutely unbelievable.
30-yard strike.
Unbelievable. So she'll have been watching on, Ella, and I think she knows that that's kind of part and parcel of what this recovery period is going to look like for her. Is she turns into a bit of a cheerleader now until she's ready to come back and start playing football
she'd
again.
said that on the podcast as well. She's taken on sort of a new role, and I'm glad that I got you to get a photo with her, Phil.
I did show my
right
girls
at the
too.
end. I was like, Phil, got to get a photo with
Yeah.
for the girls, because as he said, his girls were big fans. Did they appreciate
They did
that?
appreciate it, so well done you.
Thank you. No problem, Phil, anytime. So let's look ahead to Arsenal then. Another big game.
Yeah, huge this for Manchester United. And it's funny, I wanted to talk to Phil about this. I was going to talk to him about it off camera, but considering we've got everything here, I'll talk to you about it now. The way that Manchester United set up against Manchester City, we were talking about this, was to be really, really tough to get through. Is it the same again against Arsenal?
Yeah, maybe a similar game plan, maybe a few tactical tweaks, but I think in terms of, you know, I go back to 3-4 games ago. You know that the spaces between the lines was a lot more condensed. I can't remember really a time where Foden, Shirky, Doku, Semenyo, if they rolled into the 10 position. I can't remember a time where they got turned and was onto our back 4, and that's credit not just to the midfield but to the back line to squeeze that line as well. I thought they were connected, they were compacted, and they were absolutely ruthless in transition, and I thought it worked. I thought the game plan was perfect.
Less space for Casemiro to have to cover makes him miles more effective in front of the back 4, and leaving Bruno a little bit higher does help you out with your transitions.
Yeah, it looked like, obviously they tried to, it looked like a 4-4-2 out of possession and play Bruno in a higher position. But I just thought it worked really well. They looked so connected to each other. They chose the right moments to go and press, and you know, they were looking for the triggers to go and press, and I thought it worked perfectly well. And you know, I thought they hurt City so many times in transition. Yeah,
Bruno being that general, really, really important. You could sort of see him directing traffic as they went through the first half, and I think that's massive. I'm not sure anybody, if you'd have said to anybody, first 2 games of Michael Carrick in charge could potentially be 6 points from 2 games, I think you would have been laughed at a week ago. I'm not sure people are laughing now. It absolutely looks like there's a potential for 3 more points.
Yeah, is it a game that you always enjoyed, Phil, going down there to the Emirates?
Arsenal's a good, yes, it's an amazing stadium. The pitch is perfect, and I think we've reasonably done well over the years at the Emirates. But I agree. I think the momentum and belief, especially from winning in a game like that of that magnitude, and not just to win, but the way we won. I think the confidence and belief that'll give the players and everyone connected to the club. And
the fans, the travelling fans, can you imagine how loud they're going to be?
It's going to be massive. Listen, it'll be a tough ask. There's no question about that. Arsenal are top of the league, and they're finding ways to get over the line at the minute. But I think they'll certainly be looking over the shoulder at Man United coming to their home patch now, and especially after the game against Man City.
No such thing as a free hit in Manchester United colours, but City and Arsenal were probably the 2 really difficult ones. Then you hit a run of fixtures where you've got to be looking at picking up some points, haven't you? The likes of Fulham and Spurs at home, West Ham coming up after that. They're 3 fixtures where Manchester United will be targeting and going, yeah, we've got to try and pick up some points here.
But when you look at a performance like that, you can't fear anyone in the league. There's no reason why you can't win every game to the end of the season. I know it's not going to be possible, but the way they played, the way they controlled the game in and out of possession, the way they communicated and worked together on the pitch. Yeah, like I said, it was an amazing game to watch for the fans and everyone connected to the football club.
Well, we look forward to that one on Sunday, guys. That's it. We do thank Ella for her time, for chatting to us. I hope you all enjoyed listening or watching or wherever you get your podcasts. What's the plan for this week? Phil, you're actually going away, aren't you? Phil won't be joining us the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'm going away. A few things on the way, so...
Bit of golf?
A little bit, yeah. Mm-hmm. You're going to miss me?
Desperately.
Definitely. What about you, Liam?
So many games coming up. So we're recording this on Tuesday. So Tuesday night's under 21s. Then we've got a game on Friday for the under 18s. Got a women's game on Wednesday as well.
It's the FA Youth Cup, isn't it?
FA Youth Cup on Friday for the under 18s, and then we're back into the weekend, and we go again. So women and men's first team both playing at the weekend, and we roll on to the next week. So yeah, really, really busy with the podcasts that we're doing in between as well. I think we've got some special guests coming up too, so quite looking forward to that.
Sounds like a busy week for you as always, Liam. That is it for another episode of Inside Carrington. We will be back next week with another exciting episode, and all that's left to say is good luck to all our teams this week, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.